everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is February the 29th, 2024, and today the topic is human nature. Happy Thursday. Yes, happy Thursday, everybody. I hope you guys had a wonderful Wednesday. Mine was just fine. Yeah, mine was good overall. Um, Everything didn't go exactly like I thought it would. Um, I thought I was going to record an episode of the GSL talk show, but that ended up not happening. And the only other thing of significance was that it was Wednesday night. And so I went and had a regular night of childcare over there at Mountain West. And yeah, man, that was pretty much my day in a nutshell. I mean, ran some errands and um, had some conversations, things like that in between. Matter of fact, I believe that the conversation I had with my mom semi leads to today's conversation. So shout out to mama. um, but yeah, man, that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think, was there anything else? Nope. Now it was interesting because on my way, every now and then I'll listen to GSL, um, just to make sure, see how things is going, X, Y, and Z, and sometimes I guess after I listen to whatever the um current episode is, then it'll take me to like previous episodes. Like back in the days, I was listening to like season 9 and season 7, and all those different things, and 2021 juices from back then and stuff. And it's just always interesting, like hearing old Miracle, or the Lord through old Miracle. Um, Yeah, man. I was asking my son, even though I'm sure he don't notice or whatever, but I was like, "Oh, do you like the juice back when I used to put music on it?" I guess I can ask y'all that, especially the ones that listen to the podcast version. Do y'all like it better when I used to have the music in the background during this part, or do y'all like it where there's no music and stuff? I know that feedback was that the music was kind of louder than me in the past, so that's why I stopped putting it or using it in the quote unquote show part of this conversation. But hey, I can still take y'all advice. So put a comment wherever you listening to this. Leave a note or something like that if you rather go back to the jazzy feel of the music and things of that nature. Or if you just found the intro music, say hey, stay where you at, whatever the case may be. But anywho, so yeah, that was interesting yesterday as well. Let's get into this conversation. Human nature. How did this come to be today? Well, one, I woke up around 1:19 again, because I want to say some other day this week I woke up at 1:19. And at least it looked familiar because when I looked up verses since it around 1:19, um, it was the one talking about be slow to or quick to listen, that verse or something like that. I came across that verse this morning, so I felt led to go to the Strong's Concordance. So I went there and plugged in 119, and I ended up getting fight Adam from the verse that I looked up in the Hebrew and the Greek. If I would be more specific, it was saying a person, like one of the words meant a person, but then in like the other notes or whatever they were talking about Adam and whatnot, and so something about fight Adam stood out in my heart and mind this morning, and so I just kind of went deeper about that idea of fighting Adam or fighting our flesh. Ultimately, is what that led me to as well. At some point, obviously, I started to think about human nature and things of that nature. So this is what the definition of human nature says: the general psychological characteristics, feelings, and behavioral traits of humankind, regarded as shared by all humans. So, this human nature, this Adam-like thing, we all have it. Like I said, I'm reminded of my mom's conversation yesterday because at some point, she started talking about Adam and Eve and X, Y, and Z, and I mean, the thing is, I know we can look down on Adam and Eve, right? I know even one of the articles in the Go Deeper section at gotquestions.org was asking the question, uh, why is Adam blamed for the fall of humanity when Eve sinned first? Because we all know the Bible, according to the Bible, right? It tells us that Eve took that bite and then she gave off the fruit to her husband. Um, so we can look down on them, both of them, right? But at the end of the day, I guess the truth of the matter is we all would have done the same thing. Um, Now maybe we would like to think that we wouldn't. Like, we could look back and say, "Oh, I wouldn't have did that." And then I mean, I still stand on what I said about Adam, man. Like, listen, Adam should have had a bit of a little backbone. He should say, "Hey, woman," took a stick and hit it from her head or whatever he had to do, right, to, let her know that no, we're not gonna do that. That's not what God told us to do, X, Y, and Z. Um, so that's what, again, it just makes all these conversations very interesting because, again, people take issue with the Bible, right? They're like, ooh, the patriarchy, oh, women don't have no control, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you hear and see all these accounts where the women, um, at least had some type of input on situations. And Adam and Eve is the first account. um, but anywho, I ain't trying to start that or whatever with the battle of the sexes and all. But anyway, I went deeper about all of this morning, and I guess I'm encouraged and inspired for us to fight our human nature. Matter of fact, there were so many verses at OpenBible.info that I just decided to say, hey, go to OpenBible.info for yourself in regards to the Go Deeper section and read all the verses that stand out to you. I mean, they all were, um, I would say, significant to this conversation. I think they all um, show us an example of what is happening on the inside of us. Um, and whatnot. So hey, if you feel led to go deeper, go ahead and check that out on your own. But here goes some verses that stood out to me this morning to share. Galatians 5:16 and 17. It says, "But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the desires of the flesh are against the Spirit, and the desires of the Spirit are against the flesh. For they are opposed to each other to keep you from doing the things you want to do." That's just one verse, y'all. But I mean, again, it's very familiar on here. I told you guys, even in my book, The Cultivation Period, A Single Christian's Journey. I shared with you guys this quote that an old friend shared with me that, hey, there's two dogs on the inside of you, one made of flesh and one made of spirit. The one that's going to win is the one that you feed. And so, yeah, if you're out here, feeding your spirit and walking by the spirit, then you will do the things that you want to do, and things of that nature. And sure, yeah, it's hard because, again, yeah, we got human nature. We all have that thing in us that wants to rebel. Yeah, ultimately it's against God, but I mean, we just want to, I guess, quote unquote, do our own thing, right? We just want to, quote unquote, be free, whatever it is, right? That we use as our excuse to not be obedient. You can fill in the blank for yourself about what that looks like for you. But I believe that we all have that thing, whatever we want to call it. Today, I'm calling it human nature. Um, and so that's something that we have to fight. Now, again, it's not an easy fight. I can see here and say, hey, man, you guys have seen my journey to a certain extent. And again, I wrote all about it in my book, so you guys can hear that too. But I can sit here and say, as a living witness, it's not the easiest thing to do to try to walk by the spirit. But at the same time, I mean, it's the most beneficial thing you could do. Um, and even I was telling one of my friends the other day, I'm like, um, it's been beneficial for me to stop fighting the Lord. I'm like, hey, at the end of the day, these days, the way I handle stuff is, all right, Lord, okay, I see this open door, I'll go ahead and go through it. If the door's closed, okay, I guess that's not for me. What, or maybe it's not for me right now, things of that nature. Like, sometimes I be at a crossroad, I'm like, Lord, what you want to do? and stuff like that. Like, that's where I'm at now. But again, it took me a while to get here to this place of contentment. But but again, I find so much peace and freedom in that as well. And so I suggest that anybody do it, start practicing it, even with, humbling ourselves and giving things over to the Lord piece by piece. That's pretty much what I did. Um, but I don't know if I would say I started with my love life, but that could have been one of the things that I started with. And then from there, just, kind of gave them other pieces of my life. And then ultimately now I'm at this point. And I'm not necessarily worried about anything and stuff. And I know it may not be, um, people may not understand that and things of that nature, but all I can do is share my testimony and share what the Lord has done. Let me give you guys another verse. 1 Peter 2:11. It says, Beloved, I urge you as sojourners and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. That's pretty much what's going on. Again, that battle that's going on the inside of us, the flesh and spirit, is ultimately waging a war against our souls. Like, um, it's interesting. I had a conversation with NJ the other day, and I can't remember everything we were talking about, but at some point, I was trying to explain to him about, like, sometimes the enemy, basically the enemy wants us to, I guess, go where he's going. He wants us to die and not live and things of that nature. And maybe we don't see that. Maybe that's not something we're considering when we're thinking about the stuff that we're going through and how we're handling it, what we're doing, and things of that nature. But right now, let's just talk about the battle within, because again, we sometimes it's just us, right? We can't even blame the devil who made me do it. Like, sometimes you just did whatever it is yourself because that's your desire. So I mean, I guess this morning, I guess I'm being reminded about, abstaining from the passions of the flesh and stuff like that. And of course, I got to seek the Lord about what that looks like for me in my life. And I hope that you are seeking Him about you and yours. Here's another verse, guys. Galatians 5:24. It says, And those who belong to Christ Jesus have crucified the flesh with its passions and desires. That might be pulp this morning. That might be something that's like, ugh. Maybe I'm stepping on a toe or two. Who knows? I'm probably stepping on my own pinky toe. But yeah, man. If you're gonna be a follower of Christ, you have to crucify the flesh. And it says here with its passions and desires. Sometimes, again, we are free. Yeah, you are free to do whatever you want to do, but that doesn't mean that is what you should do. Um, and things of that nature. And so sometimes it seems like, yes, we have to crucify the flesh. Now we got to figure out what that means when it comes to each and every one of us as individuals. It might not be the same thing for me that it is for you, but regardless, again, we all understand that we have this thing in us that is pretty much keeping us from the Lord. So we got to figure out what that thing is, and you have to crucify that thing. um Here's another verse, guys. 2 Timothy 2:22. It says, So flee youthful passions and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with those who call on the Lord from a pure heart. So this is the challenge, right? This is what we all should be doing, fleeing our youthful passions and pursuing righteousness. Yeah, I don't know, something about this word youthful right now. It's like it's just one of those things. I think before you mature, I guess spiritually, you're just thinking about self, right? You're thinking about how can I please me, right? Um, it's so funny, but here I keep using NJ as an example, but um, again, we were pulling into the community. That's the word that comes in my mind right now. But in our neighborhood, okay, pulling into our neighborhood, he's like, it's NJ's world. And that's how we feel, man. We feel like it's our world and it's all about us. But at the end of the day, it should be that it's all about the Lord. And obviously, we have to share this world with each and every one of us. But we can't hold on to those youthful thoughts and passions and whatnot. We got to mature, right? We got to grow. We got to pursue righteousness and things of that nature. And along with it, we'll get some love and peace and joy and all the rest of the fruits of the spirit. I mean, it comes with good things to do that. But just saying, just a little reminder for us today. Let's pursue righteousness from a pure heart. And so ultimately the juice this morning is, again, yes, we all have that human nature. Yes, we all have that side of us that is fighting against the spirit. We may not fully understand it. We might think things in the Bible is crazy. We might call it foolishness. That's what the Bible says that people of that mindset think. But if you are a believer, if you listen to the sound of my voice and you know that, hey man, I got some things I need to crucify within myself, I hope that you guys feel led to go deeper. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. And there's a couple of articles, like I said, at gotquestions.org that I felt led to read this morning that I hope will encourage and inspire you. Those two articles are What Truly Happened at the Fall of Man, and then the other one was Why is Adam Blamed for the Fall of Humanity when Eve sinned first? You guys can go deeper with those two articles and the rest of the verses and things of that nature, but that is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is Psalm 139:23-24. It says, Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my act, my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you and lead me along the path of everlasting life. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day. And I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Now, y'all know tomorrow's Friday, right? So we have a new episode of the GSL Talk Show coming out at 7 p.m. It's with Dr. David Chopka. And he's an amazing man that has all these miraculous testimonies and things of that nature. I hope that you guys tune in to see his episode of the GSL Talk Show tomorrow at 7 p.m. But y'all have a great Thursday, and I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Yeah, man, I hope you guys are encouraged and inspired by this juice. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Look, did the toast get stepped on today? Or is it human nature taking over you in your life? Well, if that's the case, then I hope that you are encouraged and inspired to go deeper and change that narrative. We all have the power to do so. And so, yeah, man, let's embark on the journey. Start, look, day by day, chance by chance, step by step. And all those things. I'm gonna let y'all go because your girl gotta go get ready for work. I said I want to leave out an hour early. Because yeah, leaving out 30 minutes early has not been cutting it. Like I've been making it like right on time or a little bit after and stuff like that. And so I said maybe I need to get back to leaving out early again so I can be on time. So yeah, that's the plan for today. And so yeah, yep. I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow with the Lord's will. Bye.